No, this one is dense. This one is dense. Hi people, welcome back. If it's your first time, my name is Talia Adewale and this is DISBYDEM. Today we're doing the review of Exchange Transit Love episode 9. Like I announced, I don't know, it'll be about 2 weeks now. I'm not going to be doing reactions for this anymore. Honestly, it was just too much. I think the length of the episodes and with my workload, life load, just everything, it was just becoming too much for me. And I was starting to hate doing them, and I absolutely love the show, so I just decided to pivot. I decided that rather than just stopping completely, because that is what would have happened, I'd rather just do reviews. It's still long, like my notes on this episode, it's a whole chapter, but I was more excited to do that than, record my reaction and then edit my reaction. I don't think recording is a problem. It's editing that really gets me because, yeah, it's a lot. But anyway, let's just dive on in. Before we do that, be sure to do all the right things, like, subscribe, comment, and hit that notification bell. And let's just dive on in because there was a lot going on. We're going to touch on episode 8 a little bit. Spree. We're gonna touch on episode 8 a little bit. For what I can remember, I believe Shang Jin, the new guy, was introduced in 8. The girls had a date night and the boys had a date night. So I feel like that was like the big thing that happened in 8. I feel like there was more, but I can't really remember the episode. I watched it a while ago. If I have time, I will still I will edit my reaction and upload it, but don't hold your breath, people. Let's just push forward. Let's move forward. So obviously, 8 ended with him needing to choose somebody, I think, for a date. And I don't know why his was made public. Nobody else had to publicly choose somebody, but it made him choose somebody publicly. It was fine. Because of that, we got to see a reaction that I've been waiting for since episode 1. Because Shang Jin chose Dahe. And with choosing Dahe, we got to see Dongjin's reaction. Dongjin definitely felt some kind of way. When Shang Jin made that mistake, right? He said Haewon, but he was pointing to Dahe. So when he said Haewon was obviously delighted. She was surprised and delighted at the same time. And Dongjin did the whole sigh of relief. He was like, and then Dahe said, no, my name is Dahe. And then you see Dongjin's face. I was like, that's what I was looking for. And in episode 8 too, we also see that Dongjin is not dealing as well as we thought, which is what I've been saying all this while. Yes, he comes across, callous and cold towards Dahe. But I felt like this man was not dealing properly. These two people have only dated each other for 13 years. They've only known each other. There was no way that he was dealing properly. But a lot of people were going after him saying that, oh, he's not being fair and everything. I'm like, people deal with their things the way they deal with their things. It's not our place to say you have to react a certain way. It is not. So I didn't blame him for 1 second, and I was like, you know what? That's why I was encouraging Dahe. I was like, start dating other people, then you will see if this man is truly over you or not. And boy, oh boy, did we see in this episode if Dongjin was over her or not. Anywho, so the whole thing gets clarified. Shang Jin says yes, it's Dahe that he wants to go out with, because she was the only one that took time to talk to him throughout the entire night when he got, to the dates with the girls, driving back to when they got home. Dahe said that her heart fluttered a little bit when she was chosen, and I love that for her. So I was actually excited when he chose her, not because he chose her, but because she was chosen. I don't know where Shang Jin's mind is right now. Personally, I feel like he came here for his ex. The way he was, it was very much given, still in love with my ex, want to win her back. He hadn't even said anything, but that was a vibe I was getting. So I was happy that Dahe was chosen. I needed to know where Shang Jin's mind was before I got excited that she was chosen by him. You feel me? Are we on the same wavelength? Okay, moving on. So Kyung is still she's still touching people. She's touching Hyun. She's touching she's just a touchy-feely person, and it's pissing Ji-won off. And I'm just like, I don't know. Seokyung does not give me the vibe that she's here for Juwon. So I'm not really sure where Juwon is getting the vibe that she's here for him from. But we push on. It's time for day 6 text. Hui Hyun receives a text from Haewon. It says something like, it's not easy to stay positive while you're busy, because he's busy talking to Seo Kyung. She was really touchy feely. Like, she was touching his neck, his hand. She's just that kind of person. I get it. I know, because I'm a touchy person. I don't go around touching other people unless I know. Like, even now as I'm married, I don't go around touching other people just because we don't want blurred lines, people. But I get it. I'm very happy, feel touchy kind of person. So I understand where she's coming from. She's just that kind of person. Anywho, moving on for that. Look, Haewon, I don't care. I just don't care. I don't care. And it gets worse in this episode. Haewon did not get a text from anybody. I'm not going to lie. I cackled at that. Not because she was in pain. I didn't like her pain. But I cackled. Because this was a scenario that she had created for herself. And I was like, sit in it. I need you to stew in it. And I need you to learn your lesson. Did she learn her lesson? No. Moving on. Sang-jung got a text from Hui Hyun. He said that he's interested in a one-on-one interview. And in his text, he said, what keeps you so energetic? Because I think that was one of the things that got him excited when she was dancing and sitting on the floor and, doing the move from the pop idol star that she said she liked. Hui got a text from Sang-jung. She said, let's have a fun talk while taking a walk tomorrow, or something along those lines. Yoo-jung got 2 texts. And I believe that they were from Kwangtae and Juwon. Kwangtae said something about making perfume and shooting. But I thought that there were 2 from each of them. But then Kwangtae, in his one-on-one, said something about shooting and perfume. So I was really confused in the end. I know that she got 2 texts though, so I don't know. Hopefully one of them was from Juwon, because that's who she likes. Kwangtae says that he said that Seokyung didn't make his heart flutter, and that's why he didn't text her. And this was where it was solidified for me that Kwangtae is a sleaze. I'm stamping it now. I don't like him. I do not like him. I've just let it out. Let you guys know. And I'm saying the character in the show, people. I don't know him personally. No one go. Please don't think that I'm hating on these people personally. I don't know them personally. I'm reacting to the character and the show. The people that I am seeing on the show, the people that are being produced for us. That Kwangtae, don't like him. Juwon gets a text from Yoo-jung. We knew that. And she wrote, I had a lot of fun today, because I think they had their date in episode 8, I believe, if I remember correctly. Yoo-jung says that she's not curious about anybody else. Juwon is her choice. Shang-jin did not get any text, which I was surprised at, but you know what? It is what it is. He was sad that he wasn't picked by his ex and actually was crying in the one-on-one interview. And that's when I knew that there was no hope for my girl Dae with this man, because this man came back for his ex. Seokyung got one from Dongjin. Kwangtae got one from Seokyung. She said something like, I'll take the lead. Dongjin got one from Dae. And when they said Dae, I was like, girl. But then I read the text and she said, don't cry. I won't cry anymore. And in my mind, I said, yes. Good. Because to me, that felt like I'm letting the whole situation go. You don't have to think about me anymore. It's going to be all right. And I love that for her. And I'm hoping that she doesn't fall back into this pattern of texting him. I hope that tomorrow she's not going to text him again, because I'm trying to root for this girl here. I feel like she deserves love. I feel like they both do. And they need to get out of whatever circle that they're in right now, because they are stuck in a rat race that is surrounding each other, and they need to break out of that circle. Dae gets a text from Shang-jin, and this was her first text in the house, people. She has never received a text from anybody in this house, and I was so happy for her. I think it was something along the lines of, let's have fun tomorrow, or no, thank you for making me comfortable. I can't remember, but she does get one from Shang-jin. So more breakup packages arrive because there's 2 new people in the house, one for Shang-jin and one for Sang-jung. And Sang-jung got another present returned. What is it with people returning presents? Any presents that I received from my ex, who are now my exes, and I didn't want to keep, I would give away. I would maybe even throw them away. I would not return them, because that is hurtful. It doesn't matter how much the person hurt you. Like, returning a gift, it's very significant. And I don't know what the culture is in Korea, but there have been a lot of gifts returned in the X packages, and I just I can't wrap my mind around it. A gift is a gift. If you don't want it, if you don't want it anymore, give it away. Give it to somebody who will appreciate it. Throw it away. Rather throw it away and send it back to my ex. That's what I'm thinking. Because what's he gonna do with it? What are they gonna do with it? Like what is Yujong supposed to do with the shoes that she bought her ex? They're male shoes. What exactly is she supposed to do with those? What is Sang-jeon supposed to do with the shirt that she got for her ex? It just boggles my mind. Moving on. Shanjin says that he's not curious and he doesn't open his. Hui-hyun has the bright idea. God, this is when I knew. When I tell you guys that Hui does not do it for me, I don't hate him. I don't even dislike him, to be honest. But he does not do it for me in any way, shape, or form. This move right here was when it solidified for me that this guy, not my type at all. He had the bright idea to bring out the candy that Haewon got for him in his breakup package. Announce that it was from his ex, and then proceed to share it with everybody. Let's remember that this man sent her an empty box. He sent her a freaking empty box, and he thought that this was a good idea. Now, in the grand scheme of things, was it that big a deal? I don't think so. But considering the context in which all these people are in the house, considering the tenuous relationship that he currently has with his ex, considering that she's sitting there, having not spoken to you for a while, I thought it was the dumbest idea that he could have ever done. Had he brought the candy out and said, this is something very precious to me. This was given to me by somebody I really care about, and I wanted to share that love with everybody. And then proceeds to hand it to Haewon first, codedly. That would have been a statement. And I feel like that's where his mind was when he was doing this thing. I honestly think that that's what he was thinking. He's like, ooh, this is a grand gesture. I feel like she will like it. And then he went about it in a very stupid way. No, this man is dense. So, of course, Haewon is upset and she leaves and she starts to cry. Now, see, I don't mind that she cried. In fact, I think that it was an appropriate reaction for her to cry because she was hurt. And it was a hurtful thing with the way it went down. Like I said, context matters. It was definitely a hurtful thing, the way he approached the whole situation and the way it went down. However, when she went upstairs and started crying, where did she cry? Oh, she went to the second living room upstairs and started crying. I said, this girl is looking for attention. Because if I was in that scenario, I would go to my room, lock the door and cry it out. Or the bathroom, cry it out. Wipe my eyes, come down like nothing happened. But she went upstairs, she cried for a bit. Nobody came. So she wiped her eyes, came downstairs, went to the kitchen and started crying, knowing fully well that people will come to the kitchen. And I was like, okay, you're entitled to your feels, girl. I love it that you're crying. Cry it out. Have those emotions. But if you're doing it for attention, that is where I have a problem. And that's what she was doing. Let me know in the comment section if you disagree. Let me know where you're coming from and why you think or why you disagree. Because I'm really interested in another point of view here. Again, let me repeat. I do not mind that she was crying. I think her crying was an appropriate reaction to the scenario that went down. However, I have to say it like that because, however, I felt like she was doing it for attention at a certain point. I don't know who found her. One of the girls found her, and another girl came in and found her, and Sang-jeong had to start running interference so that people don't go into the kitchen. Kwang-tae finds Yoo-jung alone upstairs and he starts to chat with her. She tells him that she had fun on her date. She doesn't say who though. Oh, I wrote in brackets, the lizard. That's what I'm calling him. He says that if he had a good time on his date, he would not have sent her a text. And I was like, you sleazebag, you low down, dirty bastard. I don't like this man because he did not have to do Seokyung like that. He did her dirty and that was disrespectful to me. He didn't have to bring it up like that. Again, I don't mind if you're interested in two people. It's approach that matters. How you approach one or the scenario is what is important. Nobody is saying that you have to finalize your decision right now. So tell her, I've been on that date with somebody else that I was interested in, but I'm equally interested in you and I want to see how we fit. It's that simple. Yu Jong has gone on multiple dates, and she decided who she wanted. After multiple dates, yes, she's always liked Ju-won, but she went on those dates and compared and figured out that, yes, this is who I chose. Kwangtae can go in the bin. Nico Davis, please, come tourist man in the bin for us, because he is not it at all. Anywho, he reached over and grabbed her sweater. He kind of grabbed her hoodie, the pocket of her hoodie. And honestly, she looked uncomfortable. Her face was like, please don't touch me. I don't like you like that. Even her body language was away from him. She was sitting, like her body was facing the other side and he was here, being sexy and turning whatever it was that he was turning on for somebody who was not interested. She had like a brick wall in between them. Turns out the picture that she took with Ju-won was in her pocket and he saw it, and that's why he pulled at it so he could get a better picture, better view of the picture. And after that, he started having an attitude. And I was like, what right do you have to be upset that she went on a date and had fun with somebody else when you had the opportunity to choose her, but you chose somebody else first? Like, the double standards with these people, it just blows my mind. Honestly, it blows my mind. Anywho, Ju-won comes upstairs and Yu Jong just like, pew! Follows him, goes straight. She didn't even say nothing. She just stood up, left Kwangtae sitting there and stewing in his despair, or whatever it was that he was stewing in his green bag of jealousy. Go outside, she tells him that she got caught, like Kwangtae saw the picture, they have a chat, and then that kind of dissolves. Ji-won ends up somehow in the kitchen with So-kyung, and he's making ramyeon for her. She keeps asking him to make dishes for her. And I feel like this is leading the poor boy on. I think her own is she's just comfortable with him and she knows, like, maybe as a friend that he will do it for her. And so, but she also said that she likes his cooking. So she keeps asking him to do this, make that, make this for me. And he keeps doing it because I feel like he's holding on to hope that maybe if she keeps, being around me, she's so comfortable with me that maybe we will get back together. Let me know again in the comment section if you agree, because I feel like that's what happened. Because at the end of this episode, it was exactly that same scenario again, and he made a stupid mistake because I think he felt like, oh, she keeps asking me to do this, she's comfortable around me, so maybe it means that we are getting back together. Anywho, in the kitchen, it's all flirty vibes, like they're very playful together because they're familiar. It's bound to happen. They're very familiar with each other. They dated for a while, so they know each other, right? So it's very flirty. He jokingly complains about her touching people. Yu Jong and Kwangtae somehow end up in the kitchen too, and it's this four-way square of events with everybody being interested in everybody else at that point in time. I thought it was just hilarious that the four of them were in the kitchen together, and it was like it can't be a triangle, it's a square, and that's just what it was that was going on there. So-kyung continued with the touching, which made Ju-won angry because she was touching I think she was touching Kwangtae. She'd given him a sheet mask, I believe, and she was helping him put it on. She's just that kind of person, but it was pissing Ju-won off. Later that night, Shangjin checks his breakup package, and it was yet another gift that the ex returned. Now, knowing who his ex is at the end of this episode, I was like, you know what? It's tit for freaking tat. Which makes me wonder why she was upset when she got the breakup package in the first place, knowing that she'd returned a breakup gift. It's just a full circle. Anyway, if you watched it, you know what I'm talking about. So she returned the necklace that he got for her. And I don't know why people keep returning gifts. It's just, I don't understand it. To be honest, I don't. So it skips back to Haewon in the room, and she's talking to Seo-kyung, and Seo-kyung is kind of, I guess, just, I don't know, consoling her, whatever. They come downstairs, they're in the kitchen. She's still sad. She keeps hanging out in the kitchen. I think she was expecting Hui-hyun to come and talk to her, but it's like, let's finish the scene first, then I will give you my thoughts on Haewon. So Juwon comes into the kitchen, talks to her. They go outside, and he encourages her that it's not easy being here, so she just has to, I don't know. He kind of encourages her. I wasn't listening. Again, not really interested in what this girl is doing right now, so it's not. It really wasn't my business. Moving on, she then sits in the living room for a bit. Juwon and Shangjin left the room. So obviously, Hui is the only one left in the room. He'd gone to bed. He likes to sleep early. I don't know, something's always going on at school with him, so he likes to go to bed early. So he was the only one in the room. So she sits in the living room for a bit. Then she now walks over to the room to try and talk to Hui, who apparently had fallen asleep. She wakes him up. She was talking to him. He turned around. He woke up. He says, "Do you have anything to say?" She says, "No." So he turns around and tries to go back to sleep. She then says, "Don't you have anything to say?" And he says, "No, not today at least." Now, obviously, she's pissed off. But here's the thing. You know that this man is dense. You really know. He has not even clocked in. He knew that she was probably crying because they told him somebody was crying in the kitchen. So he knew his ex was crying. But he didn't know why. He still didn't understand why. Even in the one-on-one interview, he still doesn't know why. He couldn't figure it out. In fact, when they cut to the one-on-one interview, after this conversation that they had when he was sleeping, he said he didn't even remember that she woke him up. And I'm looking at Haewon like, if you have something to say, come out and say it. Tell him there and then, what you did really hurt me. I did not like that you brought out the candy and shared it with everybody. Or at least the context in which you put it. Speak. He is not a mind reader. Plus, you know the kind of person that you used to date. You know how he is. She said it that he was very much like that. He never really, things like that went over his head. And I'm saying, if you know this person, why do you keep expecting different results when you yourself have not changed your pattern? Please, if you are like Haewon, speak your mind. Your partner cannot read your mind. They are not mind readers. Professor X is not real, people. There's nobody. Moving on. Anywho, so obviously she's pissed off. She walks away and she said, "I reckon it won't work." So basically saying that it's not going to work between them. Not feeling weird that she still wants him back. All this one, ta. You know, fe is IGG that she's doing. She's like, it's not gonna work. You want him to come and be begging you when you haven't even said anything. Moving on. The next morning, Shanjin looks for Dahe, and then Sanjong and Hui Hyun go on their walk. Sanjong is very confident. She was complimenting herself throughout this work. She's like, "Oh, I chose the right day. It's such a beautiful day outside. I make the best sounds." She was very complimentary to herself and very confident, and I like that for her because knowing Hui, he ain't gonna tell you nothing. He will just keep looking at you. You'll be looking at each other. It seemed really nice between them. Like, it was very casual and everything. He said that he chose her because of her dancing and her whole attitude the night before. So after they'd reread their ex introductions, because the ex introductions for Sangjun and Shangjin came the night before, everybody volunteered to also reread their introductions. Everybody was sad because there was a lot of crying and everything. So Sanjung said that she didn't like the atmosphere and she wanted to liven things up. So she started doing karaoke and dancing and everything. And she really did liven up the atmosphere. They even asked her, they said, "Weren't you sad?" She said, "Yes, but I couldn't stay in that headspace forever." And I love that. Love it. Anywho, he said that that's why he chose her. And he wanted to, go for a walk with her, and he was interested in her. It looks like everything went well. It was very comfy between them, and there was no tension. He wasn't nervous at all, not like when he was with Yujong, the last date that he went on. Back at home, Haewon guilt Dongjin basically into planning something for her to take her outside. She didn't really. She was just making conversation, and he offered because he's a gentleman, and we love that about Dongjin. Dahe and Shanjin go on their date. The first part of the date is tufting. They were going to make, when those people who use the guns to make carpets, they made phone cases for themselves. It seemed like a chill time. Afterwards, they had food, and they seemed to laugh a lot at everything and nothing at the same time, which is kind of nice. The date was okay, but again, people, I know that Shangjin is not here for anybody except for his ex. So I wasn't putting hope on him. But I was excited that Dahe was out and about and having fun with herself, basically. I mean, with him, but having fun for herself. That's what I was excited about. Yuzhong and Kwante are going on their date, and she looks downright miserable. She looked like she swallowed a frog. Poor girl, she wasn't interested in this date at all. She wasn't interested in spending time with him at all. And I was okay with that because honestly, I don't like him for anybody in this house. I don't like him for her. I don't like him for Sokyung. I don't like him for himself. It ended up being a perfume making date. So they made perfumes for each other. Yuzhong, she on the way there, she calls him out for being grumpy and tells him he had no right to be grumpy. Love that for her. At the end of the date, he says, "Oh, can we stop somewhere? I really don't want to go home yet." She replies, and I died. She replies, "We don't have a choice." Meaning, get me home as quickly as possible. I died. She did not want to spend one extra minute in this man's company than she had to, and I loved it. I loved it so much. They ended up going through a drive-through, people. They went to McD's and bought food for the house. She didn't even want to sit down and have a meal with this man. She was so over it. Love that for her. Back at home, Sokyung gets overly comfortable again with Juwon, putting up lip balm for him, like, you know, all over him and putting the lip balm for him. Again, it's familiar territory for her, but I think sometimes she forgets that her actions, you know, influence how he thinks. I don't think it has clued in for her yet. She's just being herself, and unfortunately, this man is taking it like, oh, she's very comfortable with me. There is hope. He's like, you're saying there is a chance, you know. He tells her that it's too intimate the way she touches other guys, and she says that she will stop. Then we finally see Hui Hyun's date with Sokyung, because I was wondering about that. I was like, we didn't see that in the last episode, and I'd not heard anything about it. So they finally showed it to us. He seemed very nervous, kind of like how he was when he went out with Yuzhong. He tells her that he picked her because they always made eye contact and that he was interested in her. He also says that at first he was here for his ex, but that the first meeting that they had, that first, you know, meet your ex for the first time before you guys go into the house, that she was very cold, and now, like, he doesn't really know where his mind is at. So he's exploring options as they come, you know. There wasn't really much else in it. She almost seemed like she advised him like a big sister, so I wasn't really sure that anything was going on. It didn't seem like Sokyung was actually really interested in him. But then she's always touching him, so it's like, Sokyung, you gotta stop. you just gotta stop. I get where you're coming from. I feel you. I'm also a touchy-feely person, but you gotta stop because it's sending the wrong signals to these men now. Back at home, Dongjin and Haewon make bubbles. Dongjin says that he loves the tone of Haewon's laugh, and that she's a friend and he wants to take care of. So the first part, I thought it was romantic, but then he says she's a friend. So I don't know if it's like friends to lovers kind of situation that he's, you know, envisioning, or whatever is going on with that. But I feel like there's an attraction there. They did have a good time when they went to the beach together though, but because she got all wrapped up in Hui Hyun and that whole scenario, she has kind of, you know, X'd every other guy from the equation, because she had a couple guys interested in her in the beginning, and all of a sudden there's nobody on her radar, you know. But it is what it is. Yuzhong tells Dahe that she has made up her mind and won't be going on any more dates. So obviously she's chosen Juwon. Setting up for dinner, Juwon feeds Yuzhong in the kitchen. He gives her directly into her mouth. Then he also feeds Sokyung. So I'm like, okay, dude, here's the thing. I'm all for you going after your ex, but do not give Yuzhong hope, because if you break her heart, I'ma find you and I'ma wreck you. I like Yuzhong. I really don't want her heart broken on this show. For somebody who can make up his mind, at this point in time, you need to know. It is obvious that it's not obvious because she keeps touching him. Oh my God. So I get it. It's 50. I get it. But I just don't want him breaking Yuzhong's heart. And I feel like it's 60-40, with 60 going to Sokyung and 40 for Yuzhong. But yeah, let me know what you guys think, please, in the comment section, because that's how I'm seeing it. I feel like he has more emotions for his ex than he has for anybody else in this house, and it's pissing me off because he's encouraging Yu Jong and she's falling for it. In fact, she has fallen for him already. The girls end up all seated at the table first, and then the guys had to choose who they were going to sit beside. It was kind of a joke, but I think it was significant, to be honest. Everybody kind of sat down beside who they were attracted to in the end. So, I mean, it is what it is. Shangjin and Sangjong kept making eye contact across from the dinner table, and it was making them laugh. What's his name? He thought that they were flirting, and he kept saying, stop flirting, stop flirting. It's like, are you interested in the girl? If not, then leave her, let her flirt. And she wasn't even flirting. It was just a funny situation. The bloody candies, those bloody candies, make an appearance one more time. The girls are sharing it, and obviously Haewon is upset again, but she goes to the kitchen, gets water, and comes back and sits down. There's nothing she can really say, right? Day 7, it's time for the texts. So first person to get a text was Yu Jong, and it came from Hwante. And I was surprised that Juwon did not send her a text. In fact, I was heartbroken that Juwon did not send her a text. That pissed me off. I was angry. I was surprised, angry, and heartbroken about it. But more than anything, I was angry because I was like, Juwon, what are you doing? What are you doing? You know? Anyways, it was from Kwangtae, and he wrote, I won't let you down anymore. There was more to the text, but I wasn't really listening because she didn't even care either. Kwangtae got nothing. And that's hurts my soul so much. You guys have no idea how excited I was. He really did go from like, what was it? Wasn't it 3 that he got the first time, or 4 or something like that? And just kept, and now 0. Nobody's interested in him. Maybe new people will come. Who knows? Or maybe we'll find his person there. Next person was Dongjin. He got 1, which I thought was from Haewon, but apparently it was from Sokyung. And I'm like, when did Sokyung get into the mix? And I feel like I feel like Dongjin was expecting a text from Dahae, and I think that he missed it when he didn't get the text. And cut to his one-on-one interview, he said that he was a little bit angry that he didn't get the text from Dahae, which is expected, but that he knew it was right and that he will try to support her. And I was like, yes, the shoe is on the other foot now, and we get to see, he gets to experience what she has been experiencing, and it's only fair. I'm not saying that they both should be hurting at the same time, but it was one-sided before, so he didn't understand what it felt like for him to be showing other people attention while she was just sitting there hoping for his, you know. And now that the tables have flipped, he can empathize a little bit. And I don't think he's going back to her. I don't see this relationship, him going back to Dahae. In fact, I don't hope for that for them. Even though it will be the best scenario, I don't think it will be good for them. But I wanted him to understand what it felt like for somebody else to cut her or give her attention while he was there. That was all I wanted. I didn't want them to get back together. It's not that kind of scenario. I just want understanding and empathy, because now he knows how she has been feeling the past 7 days. Anywho, Shangjin gets 1 text, and it's from Dahae. Haewon gets 1, and it's from Dongjin, apparently. She said that she was happy about that, so good for her. He gets 1 from Sangjong, and he gets another 1 from Haewon. And she said something, what did she say? I don't have anything to say anymore, something along those lines. And I'm like, if you didn't have anything to say, you would not be texting him. Get the fuck out of here. Let's be honest. And it just, she keeps messing with his emotions, and it's like, stop it. When he was talking to Sokyung about that first meeting that he had with her and how she was cold, he literally, and I said this, I defended him because he was right. He literally said that he wanted to get back with her, and she said no. So all of this is pissing me off. Sangjong did not get any, and I was like, ouch, that was hurtful. And then Sokyung got 1 from Hui, and he said something about you being 6 years older than me makes us friends, right? Or something like that. Apparently he likes her, so now he's in the mix, because Sokyung did not think that he was interested in her at all, but he is. Sokyung gets a second message, and you can guess who it's from. Juwon, the idiot. Look, I'm not saying that what he did was wrong. I'm just like pissed off about the scenario. Juwon gets 1 and obviously it's from Yu Jong. And then he said that he felt bad when he got her text because he didn't text her back. And I was like, you should feel bad because I think you did something terrible. And again, it's 50-50. The emotions are involved, exes are involved. I get it, but don't give the girl hope if you know that your mind is somewhere else. That is what is pissing me off. You know where your heart is. You know. It's almost like you're keeping her on standby, you know? If this doesn't happen, then you have somebody to fall back on. It's not a good feeling. Not for her. No. I don't like it. I really don't. Anywho, last person was Dahe, and no, second to last person was Dahe. She didn't get anything. And I was pissed off. I wasn't pissed off at Shangjin, no. I was pissed off that she has consistently not gotten a text in this house. What does this girl have to do to get a text? I guess she has to do more. The only other person she's been out with is Shangjin. And I get it. But I wasn't surprised. I was just angry on her behalf and more sad on her behalf because I think that it is time for her to move on. And I feel like she's trying to do that, but this will probably make her regress a little bit. But it is what it is. We'll find out in episode 10 what happens. Yu Jung gets her second text message, and you can guess it was from Shangjin because he's what? He's her ex. And I called it from the very first moment that we saw him in episode 8. I was shouting, Yu Jung is Yu Jung's ex. He's Yu Jung's ex. I was screaming. Maybe I'll put in a clip, but I doubt it. But I called it. Everybody was thinking that he was Sang Jung's ex because they wouldn't make eye contact. I said she wouldn't make eye contact with him because she was not interested in him. He does not look anything close to her type. He looks nothing like Hui. And she said Hui Hyun is her type. I said it's Yu Jung's ex. Count me now. And I was right. So they do the ex reveal. And apparently they met through... This is the shortest ex reveal we've had. They did not tell us why they broke up. And I'm not sure why they did that. But it is what it is. They met through a mutual friend. He fell in love at first sight. He fell hard and fast. It sounds like, honestly, she was more amused by him than in love with him. That's just how I saw it. I do think that she had affection with him, but I don't know that she was in love with him. It looked like they had a ton of fun throughout their relationship. They were laughing and smiling. They dated for about a year, almost a year. I think they broke up in their 11th month or something like that. And it's been 4 months since the breakup. What's up with these people coming back so early? 4 months is not enough. I mean, they only dated for a year, so maybe that's fine. But for me, 4 months is not enough, not after a breakup. I think I was single for 6 years after one breakup at one point. Yeah. I just wanted to do me, people. I can't be bothered. Anyhow, they don't tell us why they actually broke up. They just said that she holds a lot of resentment towards him and that he shouldn't have done what he did. He also agreed that he doesn't know why he took it that far, but they don't specify. So I don't think we're getting specifics on that. It's their prerogative. It's their right. If they don't want to share that with us, it is what it is. They are back at the house. Yu Jung confides in Dahe and Haewon and tells them, you know, she just talks about how it's just a complicated situation. Like in this house, you have to take care of yourself, your ex, and the person that you're interested in. And it just complicates things. And like she said she knew that she wasn't going to get a text from the person that she was interested in because he'd hinted that he was going to send a text to his ex-girlfriend. And now, with her getting a text from her ex, she's saying that she might be starting to waver. And I think the only reason why she's wavering is because Juwon did not send her a text. Had he sent her a text, she would have been steadfast in like, no, he's my choice. I don't really care about anything. They then shows the thread cutting ceremony, and obviously she cut it. He didn't. So yeah, things are beginning to spice up, people. I think the review is the way that I'm going to be going. Why am I saying I think? This is what I'm going to be doing. As much as I would like to lump two together, I don't think I'll be doing that. I think I'm going to take my time with each episode and we're going to dive in and talk about it. So yeah, I hope you guys are okay with the format. It is what it is. Rather do this than not do it at all because I actually do enjoy the series. I'm very interested to see what happens between Haewon and Hui Hyun, his name, it makes me think. It makes my brain turn. Very interested in seeing what that one, because they seem to have a ton of misunderstanding between them. I don't think that they should be together. I do not think that they should be together. He needs, I don't know what he needs, but he needs something. And Heywan needs a mature person because she is really immature. Honestly, she is. She tends to be immature, and she needs someone to help her grow out of that. Or maybe she needs to go and work on herself for a little bit, then come back and be in a relationship, because whatever it is that she's working on or doing right now, it ain't working. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the review. Try to do all the right things, like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.